Today we're going to talk about leadership coaching and some four qualities that a leader should have. So let's take a quick look at what I have for you today. Leadership coaching, and those of you that have the definition, it says leadership coaching is a formal engagement in which a qualified trainer or coach works with an organizational leader in a series of dynamic sessions created to set and achieve precise objectives and goals that will result in the improvement of their effectiveness within their business, church, or community. In this case, a good coach helps leaders develop clarity of the mind, focus, and a better view of the big picture, which will in turn allow greater perspective. So, I had spoken yesterday that you can't have a leader if that leader is not aware and is not teachable. Remember, we were talking about teachable leaders. I believe that the most successful ones are leaders that understand their strengths, understand their weaknesses, but also allows their followers to do what they cannot, and allows also the flexibility and an open mind to be able to integrate that as strengths within whatever it is that they're doing. And so leadership coaching is a way to bring to the organization that leader allows and brings to the organization someone else, which is a subject matter expert, that will allow everyone, that will train and allow everyone to see the bigger picture. And sometimes it's necessary because when you're dealing with leadership, you have a room full of great minds, people that have great energy, people that want to get this project and put it together, or something that's a goal towards the organization. Everyone in the room has the same mindset. They want to get it done. They want to see it accomplished. But when you're training people in leadership coaching, it allows people to see the bigger picture. Sometimes people are so focused within their area that they can't see the bigger picture. Not everybody sees the bigger picture. So it's the leader's job to enable them to see the bigger picture, to see the vision in a better perspective. Or maybe the leader themselves is having trouble in seeing the bigger picture. And so leadership coaching is a way to be able to bring in someone else, a fresher look at what it is that they're trying to accomplish. And it also helps that leader maybe get some skills or brush up on some skills. And also the followers will always be able to take advantage of that as well. So that's basically leadership coaching, and we were supposed to touch that yesterday, but we didn't get a chance to. And we have defined a couple of qualities. First off, right off the bat, what a leader should have. But out of those, I feel like there are four that we did not discuss, and let's take a look at that. So I'm going to get you back on the screen, and it says key qualities. Now, quality is defined as a standard of something as measured against other things similar. For example, the degree of excellence of something, a distinctive attribute or characteristic possessed by someone. So when you were talking about qualities in this case, I believe that a leader is an original. They're not common. They normally stand out in the crowd. You also see that they're expressive, they're outspoken, they have the ability to communicate their vision. Now, even if they're not expressive to the entire group, but they still have the ability to communicate their vision. They have higher critical thinking skills and always think out of the box. They're not thinking like everybody else is thinking, they're more futuristic. And they're humble human beings. So let's take a look at those four, and let's talk a little bit about those four. Original. What does original mean? Original normally is the reason why people want to emulate the leader. They represent something that is not common, something that is fresh, something that is different, someone that can empower you to be different. God, when He created us the original breath, and that's taking from Larry Randolph. He has a book called Original Breath, and one of the things that I learned from there was that we are all individually created in such a way that we are a masterpiece. We are not all the same, and sameness pretty much can kill an entity. Now, uniformity is one thing, but then you also have harmony. That means that it's just like in a vegetable soup. All the different vegetables together create this wonderful soup that they're all part in the soup, but they're all different. Their flavors can vary. So people are just like that, and leaders especially are very much original. They won't copy anybody, and I personally don't like to have the idea in my head that I'm a Xerox copy of someone. Now, there are traits that you will copy as a leader because you want to emulate whoever trained you, but there are also aspects of your life that you can bring as a leader that are totally original, that are your mark, that people will recognize. Oh, you must have been trained under so and so, or you must be under so and so, because those traits somehow are reflected from who is your trainer. The other one is expressive. I believe that you really have to have a talent, a God-gifting gift to express to a group and to cast a vision and to allow them to see whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Not everybody has that ability, but a leader should have a strong ability to do so, because in order to have followers, in order to have people to want to be able to follow you, you have to have that ability to say why. What is the purpose? Why are we following you? What is the gain? What is going to be the objective and goal at the end? And if you give them the highlights of what is expected, and you allow them to see during the path the trial and errors, but no matter what, not giving up, still believing and thinking. I think a beautiful example of this, other than Jesus, obviously, we always put Jesus first in everything we do, especially when we're talking about the church. But a beautiful example of this is the life of Walt Disney. If you have never seen the biography of Walt Disney, I suggest you go and take a look at his biography. There's one on PBS. It's a wonderful documentary. It's about 4 hours long, 2 parts, so if you can see it over time. But it explains the drive that this man had. And he was a tremendous leader. Yes, he had opposition. Yes, there were things that didn't go right, but he was a visionary. He had the ability to express what he wanted. He told people what he wanted, and he had followers. He had people that believed in him. And there was a time to where people stopped. There is a time to where you have that downfall, but every area of a leader's life is not always at the peak. And then in Walt Disney's example, you see that he had peaks, but then he had downfalls. And take a look how he reacted to the downfalls. That's like key. So that's going to be like your homework if you really are curious about trying to get that vision and being futuristic. Higher critical thinking, always thinking out of the box. That's that futuristic part that I was explaining just now. Not looking at what everybody else is looking at and seeing what everybody else is seeing. I think a leader has the ability to see in an individual, can see better, can see that person can strive, what can they achieve, even when that follower can't see it. Because the leader has a perspective of thinking out of the box. Thinking, what is it that this maybe follower can contribute to this organization, to this business, or to the church body to which I can utilize, and can it be a benefit? It can be a benefit. And to finish off, because we're again out of time goes so fast, make sure that the person that you're under is a humble human being. Most of all, the Lord tells us that we have to be humble in everything, in humility. Why? Because we have to remember our small beginnings and not despise them. We have to remember where we're coming out of. We have to remember where God delivered us from. Maybe the leaders were not always leaders. Remember that there was a time to where a leader was a follower. And there is something about excellence. When you strive for excellence in everything you do, you automatically start shining, because what happens is you're doing everything like what the Bible says, do everything as if unto the Lord. So when I do what I do, I think about, okay, I'm working for Jesus indirectly, whether you believe that or not. While you're on this earth and you believe in Jesus Christ, you're working for him. So you're also representing him, just like a person would be an ambassador to a country, or a person would be a representative of a business. For example, if I work in a bank, I would represent the bank wherever I go to do business, to talk to people. That's the reflection. So we are working for a higher call. We are working for Jesus Christ. So how do I want him to be reflected in my life to people? And so when you take him as a leader, you envision him as your direct leader, then there's a change in your life, because now you're going to do everything in excellence, and you're going to want to please him first. And there is a reward when that happens, because now there's honesty involved, there's integrity involved, there's the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you carry yourself changes, because you want to emulate him first off, and second off, you don't want to bring shame to him. And that is a key component, at least in the church arena. Now I'm talking about church arena. That is a key component, but it's also a key component if you work outside, if you are in a business, or if you're an entrepreneur. Why? Because people are watching you. The world is watching us, and they're seeing if you truly are what you say you are, if you truly are what you preach. And I believe that a leader, a strong leader, should emulate what they believe in. So with this, we're going to go over this real quick. Original. You're not common. If you want to be a leader, you're not common. You're expressive. You have the ability to get everybody on board to a vision. You have higher critical thinking skills. You're always looking to the future, and you're humble. And you're humble. So those 4 qualities are powerful qualities that we'll be touching a little bit more on tomorrow and on Thursday. So join me again. Thank you for being with me. If you have any questions, by all means, go ahead and look me up on the Eagle Speaks public page and post those questions there within the area of the materials for today. And if you are more intrigued to find out more, then join us tomorrow for Leadership Part 3. We will be talking a little bit more about 4 key traits that are also very important concerning leadership. So thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you have a blessed day.